Simon Egba or even liking Vam Vam Vam, you may hate me. But the truth is that I am not Biafra. Even Nnamdi Kanu is not the Biafra we are looking for. Simon Egba is not the Biafra we are looking for. The same thing you are looking for is the same thing I'm looking for. The same freedom you need is the same freedom when me, Kuma, I need them. We have one common enemy. We have just one common enemy, and we have one goal. Like I used to tell us, if you don't know your location, you will never know your destination. So you must find out what is your problem. How do you solve it? On your way to solving your problem, you find out other people are going through the same way. They are not your problem. Go to the point to solve your problem. Master Simon Ekpa no be your problem. No be anybody's problem. Nnamdi Kanu no be anybody's problem. Now Nigeria be your problem. Now those who want send you into IDP camp, now they be your problem. And it's either you accept Biafra or you accept finalization. Two times, you don't get any other option. It's either you accept to choose to fight for your freedom, or you choose to keep your head for somebody to remove, and like say they remove goat own. Your children will remain forever in a IDP camp, in the midst of forest, in the middle of forest, if not swamp. We welcome, before we listen to the video, I can see my Honorable Vam 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 here. Vam Vam Vam, you are welcome.
Thank you, my senior comrade. Thank you, Mazi. Fellow Biafrans, greetings, lovers of freedom, I greet you all. And just like we always promise, we are back here again. And I'm happy to join my big brother on the same stage tonight. And tonight we are going to do justice as we always do. Please, if you are just coming in, hit the like button, hit the share button, and let's spend a little time together tonight. Thank you. Mazugo, please, we are going to share that announcement once again. Remember the announcement PM made today about that fake recruitment from
we go share them. We go share them. We will talk about it. We will talk about it, and we go talk about I don't know whether I still get that video of that people where go they carry small children.
But what is happening here? Which video be this?
Now lawyers might call briefing the press about Mazen and the Kanu health.
Okay. I've never watched it, so I would like to watch it also.
It's just this evening that the video came up. It wasn't there before. So we'll listen to the video and see what he's saying about the health of our leader Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, and then we move from there. I'm trying to see the video where they gathered those boys and start calling them kidnappers and
okay.
You get them.
It's on the Twitter. I didn't save it. It's on the Twitter of PM.
I saved the video, but I don't know where it is again. If I don't see it, no problem. I think it's well. It's okay. It's well. Let's first of all make we listen to waiting be name. Waiting be this man name. Barrister lawyer Jimako. Make we listen to him first of all. Make we hear waiting in one brief us about our leader. Then we go listen, and anybody that want money a long time. Money take longest time. How you there? I just they look for you with the eye. I know they see you. I hope you do okay.
Money, I sure say you never backslide.
No, money and no feedback slide. Aye. Money and a warrior.
All those long comments where they write. I know they see
them. Don't be spotted. I enjoy them. When I welcome, make we listen to the video.
has become necessary to brief the members of the media on certain salient, certain very important developments in the case of Nnamdi Kanu. Me being the first speaker, I'll briefly touch on the history of this case, and I'll turn over the mic to my colleague here to take the other segment of this briefing. You will all recall that this case started in 2015, sometime in October, when Nnamdi Kanu was arrested in Lagos on his arrival from the United Kingdom. Then he was charged with 4 or 5 offenses, mostly bordering on treasonable felony. One was treasonable felony by itself, the other one was conspiracy to commit treasonable felony. There was also a charge that bordered on defamation of the then president, and one that bordered on false declaration of an imported radio equipment. The case initially made its way to the magistrate court in Abuja, where in December 2016, the DSS, which had brought the case forward, filed a nolle prosequi. They filed an application before the magistrate court to discontinue his prosecution in the magistrate court on the premise that they were moving over to the High Court. And that was granted. Thereupon, the case moved over to the High Court, and it was in the High Court. And during that period, between 2016 and 2017, Nnamdi Kanu was granted bail twice. The order for bail was not complied with by the federal government. And one of the judges, Justice Adeniyi, who granted him bail unconditionally, became a casualty of the federal government. It's in the public domain. It was widely published then, in accordance or quoting the judge himself, that part of the reason he was arrested subsequently and tried in court was because he had granted unconditional bail to Nnamdi Kanu. Anyway, in the very end, sometime in April of 2017, he was finally granted the latest bail then by Justice Binta Moritera Nyako. That was the bail that he perfected and which the federal government obeyed. So he returned to his ancestral home in Omagh, awaiting his next court date, which was in October of 2017. But lo and behold, between the 10th of October and 14th of October, the Nigerian army started or commenced lethal military invasion attacks at his ancestral home in Omagh. Several people were killed. Nnamdi Kanu's parents were both alive, but they suffered injuries to which they later succumbed to and died 1 week apart. Nnamdi Kanu himself, in order to save his life, had to flee from the location, and fortunately for him, he found his way overseas, and he remained in exile until June of 2021, when he was encountered in Kenya by Nigerian security agencies who have been on a manhunt for him. They laid ambush for him at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, and they abducted him at the parking lot of the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, where he had gone on a personal errand. From then, he was disappeared for 8 days at a secret location in Kenya, not a law enforcement facility. He was disappeared, and during those 8 days, he endured horrendous physical and mental torture. Eventually, on the 8th day, they brought him out from that location and secretly took him to the tarmac, straight to the tarmac, evading immigration, Kenyan immigration, put him on a private jet and renditioned him to Nigeria. He wasn't extradited. Most of these things are in the public domain. I'm doing this just to recap so that the public and the media in particular will be aware of how this case is now turning from prosecution to persecution. After he was brought into the country, the federal government, instead of pivoting on the charges for which Nnamdi Kanu was so unlawfully and forcibly brought into the country, totally abandoned those charges, all of them. But for one, the one that bordered on false declaration of an imported radio equipment. That's a very unserious charge. The more serious ones, bordering on treasonable offenses, were completely abandoned in place of new ones, 15 of them, bordering on terrorism. What this means is that for a whole 7 years, between 2015 and 2017, 2022, when these charges were finally amended to 15 and the old ones abandoned, the charges I will characterize as pre-rendition charges were completely abandoned. Nnamdi Kanu suffered at the hands of the criminal justice system in Nigeria for 7 whole years, between 2015 and 2022, for charges that were later abandoned. So for the 18 months he was detained, subsequent to his arrest in 2015, he was detained for nothing. He didn't deserve 1 day of that detention. He also didn't deserve any tribulation and travails that he had to go through for these 7 years, including the Python dance that nearly claimed his life, but claimed the life of his parents and other innocent people, including his exile abroad and including his rendition. So you may ask, why was he renditioned? For charges that were later to be abandoned. That's a question for that the answer will come 1 day sooner than later. Now, you all are aware of what happened in the High Court. The High Court, in response to objections filed against his trial, struck out 8 of the charges, leaving 7 in place, which went to the Court of Appeal. The Court of Appeal proceeded to strike all of the charges due to the extraordinary rendition which the Court of Appeal held had divested Nigerian courts of jurisdiction to try him. So he was discharged and was supposed to go home pursuant to that order of discharge. But the federal government did not obey that order. For a whole 2 weeks, he was looking for a way to dodge it, and finally he found a way by filing an application for stay of execution of the order. And the application was granted in a swift way that really would shock everybody in this country that knows that matters like that are often very much delayed in court. But I'll leave that aside. Eventually, the case proceeded to the Supreme Court, where the Supreme Court held that he must stand trial. In other words, the Supreme Court reversed the judgment of the Court of Appeal, but the Supreme Court also made other rulings that the revocation of his bail was wrong, the warrant of arrest upon which his rendition from Kenya was granted was wrong, that manifest misrepresentations were made to the High Court by the federal government that he had John bail, and the High Court was misled and otherwise did not pay too much attention to the explanations as to why Nnamdi Kanu was not available to take his trial. And thereby, the trial court proceeded to issue that questionable warrant of arrest that led to his rendition. Now, the case has been remitted back to the trial court, the High Court, and we're here, the legal team, battling to defend him the best way we could. We have done a bail application, a fresh bail application, which was denied. We raised objections to his trial due to the fact that we are not able as a team and individually as lawyers, when we visit him at the detention facility at the State Security Services in Abuja, we are not able to consult with him properly. He deserves his right to counsel, unfettered right to counsel, unburdened by interference of government officials. He also deserves to have the adequate facilities to defend himself. These two things are denied him, and they are constitutional rights found under Section 36, sub 6, B and C of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Every one of us enjoys such a right. It's called right to fair hearing. I don't see why Nnamdi Kanu should be an exception. But lo and behold, the High Court, in its wisdom, denied our objection and ordered for an accelerated hearing. So that's where we are now. We have the matter scheduled for hearing on the 17th of April. And before then, we decided we have to bring some other applications. So right now we have one application pending, which is to restore his bail. The application is different in so many different degrees from an application for bail. While one was an application for a new bail, the other is an application, or the current one is an application to restore his bail under the conditions that it was previously granted. That application is pending. But then, on a final note, when this matter started in 2015 and escalated to September 2017 with Python dance and all that, Nnamdi Kanu, through myself, brought an application before the African Commission on Human and People's Rights, complaining about the Python dance and proscription of IPOB, and he won. The African Commission, which is a branch of the African Union, wrote a letter to the then president calling for implementation of certain things they asked him to do. One of them being that he should henceforth or thenceforth cease and desist from further prosecutions or law enforcement actions against IPOB members, and in particular Nnamdi Kanu. That decision was ignored. The United Nations intervened in 2020 and 2021 with similar decisions. Those two were also ignored. After his rendition, the United Nations intervened again in July 2021 and issued a celebrated opinion that he should be released unconditionally. That too was ignored. Now, a high court, a federal high court sitting in Omaha in October 2022 issued a decision condemning his detention, declaring it illegal and non-constitutional, his current detention in Abuja. That too was ignored. Back in January 2022, a high court of the state of Abia had awarded him 1 billion naira as compensation for the damages he suffered or that issued from that infamous Python dance. Payment of that compensation is outstanding, so also is the apology to him that the court had ordered. And then finally, last year in October, a high court in Enugu State declared that the executive or administrative actions taken by the Southeast governors and the federal government back in 2017 to proscribe IPOB and declare it a terrorist organization, those actions were unconstitutional under Section 42 of the Constitution. This is important because Nigerians, all Nigerians, are supposed to be treated equally. What had happened to IPOB in 2017 in terms of the proscription was a stark evidence of discrimination, which is unconstitutional under Section 42 of the Constitution. We have been saying that until last year in October, when a high court agreed that that is so. We had figured that in an enlightened society such as ours, which is subject to rule of law, the federal government would have taken steps pursuant to that judgment of October last year, to file some sort of an application to withdraw the proscription of IPOB as it is, and to cancel the terrorist toga that is placed on IPOB. Why? Because that very proscription in 2017, being ex parte, did not give opportunity to IPOB or any of its members to make representations as to why it should not be proscribed, or as to why it should not be declared a terrorist organization. That offends Section 36 of the Constitution, which required that any law that derogates from the right of any Nigerian, his right to fair hearing, should have given him an opportunity to make representations. So these are the several violations, and unfortunately, these violations have led to incalculable damage to citizens of this country, to innocent people, mostly in the Southeast and South-South. Hundreds have been killed in pursuit or in law enforcement actions related to fighting IPOB. It's wrong to do all that on a mere ex parte order. Thousands are languishing in detention, and of course, you know, Nnamdi Kanu himself is also languishing in detention following his rendition. So, too many bad things have happened, and we're hoping that we'll come full circle to a point where people will sit back, government officials, the federal government, led by President Ahmed Tinubu, to look again at this case and to see whether this case has any merit at all, or whether the case was, as it were, politically motivated to the point that the present administration should not have any business inheriting it. When someone says, I do not want to belong to a country anymore, you don't lock him, you don't pursue him with bullets and manacles and all kinds of things to put him in jail or to prosecute him. You try to talk to him. That, I think, is the more sensible thing to do. No, what we are saying is that he was speaking from experience. He even cited himself as an example. There was a day he went to see him. They wouldn't allow him to see him. That was about 3 or 4 weeks ago. So that exemplifies what we passed through. And when we go in there, we can't see him as a group of lawyers. They separate us. I see him for 30 minutes and they rush me. I go out, he sees him, they rush him out, he sees. So there is no cohesion that is required to defend such very grievous offenses or allegations. So those are the things we're battling with here. And we have concern about the privacy of our conversations. Where there was a day I was consulting with him with another colleague, and they took a secret photograph of myself. They accidentally filed that photograph as part of their proof of evidence in court. So we now got it as an evidence, and we said, wow. So they were taking secret photographs of us. And if you go into the room, you will not see any camera. So evidently, you have hidden eyes, hidden cameras, and everything. So what and what not? So what else do they have? Eavesdropping equipment, secret listening devices, or what? So we whisper in fear. And sometimes you just have to pull him out to say something, or even pull yourself out to say something, because you're ever afraid someone is somewhere secretly recording you. How can we conduct an effective defense under these conditions? It's not possible. Okay, whether we are confident that you get a fair trial, the confidence is zero. Under present circumstances, our confidence is zero, nada. My colleague said it here. There's no way Mazi Nnamdi Kanu can get fair trial under the current conditions of his detention, which encourage the profound interference with his access to counsel and the adequate facility to conduct his defense. that we initiated earlier on. There's not going to be any fair trial in that kind of scenario. Impossible. The drafters of the laws of Federation of Nigeria are wise. There is a section in the Federal High Court Act. You can check it out. Section 17 of the Federal High Court Act empowers Federal High Court judges to recommend reconciliation, otherwise known as political solution, in this very circumstance between combatants, between the prosecution and the defense. And it did not limit it to civil cases only. It includes criminal cases. And we are human beings. We are imbued with the capacity to talk, to negotiate, to compromise certain things, to do give and take. So anybody that puts that issue on the table, it will be considered. The issue of political solution. I alluded to it earlier on. The agitation itself is political. So it fits into the mold of the agitation. Political solution makes better sense than law enforcement.
Have you initiated, or are you going to?
Would I suggest it?
Yes.
Well, I'm saying I'm a lawyer. I'm transactional. It's for the government to put it on the table that, listen, you are agitating for something, and that's why we're holding you. Can we talk? Then we consider it. We're not going to reject it flat out. It will not make sense. Political solution is always possible. I don't think it makes sense to reject it, regardless of where it's coming from. Well, it will be our duty first is to defend them, not to play politics, not to recommend political solutions, like what my colleague called line of defenses. That's what we are struggling with. Right now, what is on the table is we are fighting to make sure he gets fair trial. So we're not fighting to get a political solution. That's not our brief. But if it falls into our hands and our client instructs us to consider it, we will carry out the instruction of our client. So we haven't come to that bridge. When we come to it, we shall cross it. Well, I've said it. Initially, when I was speaking, I wondered whether this is an inherited headache for the current president. This is an issue that began from the last administration. We don't know to which extent it was considered a personal spat between the previous president and Nnamdi Kanu and the policies of that previous president, which are not necessarily the policies of President Ahmed Tinubu. So we're optimistic. I was in court the other day, and we were arguing the application for his bail, and the judge wondered whether, if he's granted bail, whether he's going to honor the conditions of his bail. And I used this metaphor to answer the judge. And I said, well, he will, because it was Buhari and his army that chased him out of Nigeria. And I don't think Tinubu and his army will chase him out of Nigeria again. So people laughed, but I think it captured the sense that we expect this administration to handle this matter a bit more differently than from the way the previous administration had handled it. And we have precedents to point to. Under this administration, we have seen Sondo Igboho walk free. It was the previous administration that pursued him into Benin Republic. He returned in peace, a free man, expressing himself, waxing, swaggering all over the place, a free citizen, under Tinubu. And we also have a high-profile case of Yele Showore, whose case was no late. That's what lawyers call it. That is, the Attorney General discontinued his prosecution. The man was literally imprisoned in Nigeria for 5 years. He couldn't travel because he had his passport. Now his case has been continued by the Attorney General, and he returned to the US. He's a free man today. So sometimes you do wonder what makes the case of Nnamdi Kanu unique. And we do not want to succumb to certain sentiments. But people are beginning to ask questions as to whether where he heard from is part of the problem that is confronting him. Thank you.
All right, we are welcome back. I purposely allowed him to play so that we could listen because I listened to him explain everything in details, like Biafra Unite will tell you in details. So we listened to it all in details. So we had it all. So, Ada Biafra, you are welcome to the program. You, as a legal personnel,
Oh,
I think
Chineke.
you,
Hello.
you as a legal personnel, you know,
And
we
I
Biafra,
was how you was it like
ataya, mam, icho kamana ne a legal personnel. Icho kamana ne wo council. No, let Biafrans know that we have a council in our midst, in the media. We don't have mad people here. No, no mad person is allowed amongst us. So anything you
Yes,
just
so
media team is not
echekwa m na ife a bụ photo trick Kedafia, my brother.
photo.
oh photo.
Ajune boom so asim no come and tiere the photo.
Oidina, okay. Nna afụgokwa m picture gị na so many superstars.
Oh yeah.
So many of them.
Okay,
Ịbụkwa oke mmadụ.
DJ.
So, my brother, go on with your question. If you mention that I would like you to
No, I'm not asking you any question. I want you to just, from everything in Kuru, Kawagodere, the Biafra, the implications, the good, the ugly, whatever you just explain the video to us, make we hear.
Okay. You know, my people, before I go ahead, I have to thank my colleagues, wonderful men that have given me this wonderful opportunity to meet our people. I have special regard and thanks to our leader. It pains me, Nnamdi Kanu, that he is where he is today. And I thank our Obatobiye, one of Biafra land, the PM, very tough man. Whenever Nigeria hears Simon Ekpa, they will all start weeing in their pants. And I thank all Biafrans for always joining our team. It makes us feel that we are talking to people, that we have people that supports us, that we are working with. I welcome you, Biafrans, and I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your location. My people, you know that the zoo, they have no legal system. They have, but they don't practice it. I think there is no secular legal system in Nigeria or polarized. I mean, they mix things together. Takia or Sharia legal system and English legal system. But you know that two things like this cannot work hand in hand. Because when you have a judicial system, you have to allow them to do their work. The government only interferes when the judiciary is, challenging the government in a wrong way. But no, it is not. Onyendu was, when he came to Nigeria, that was in year 2015 or 5. I don't know. Raphael, is it 2015 or 2005? When
2015.
I think 2015.
2015,
So
yeah.
he was detained and was given bail. He never ran away. Onyendu was in Nigeria. Then they said that they are going for Python dance. What that meant, I don't know. But you all saw how they went there to buy our boys. Some people said that they are up to 200, but Nigeria government claimed that they are, I don't know that number they claimed. But in the first place, how can you be buying people this way, making human life valueless? Then our Onyendu ran for his life. They renditioned Onyendu through the help of the DOS, because those are the ones working with Onyendu during that time, in year 2021. Because I like to start my story or my advice from somewhere so that you will understand everything about what I'm going to say. Now, somebody came to kill you. It's only a tree. Onyendu ran. He has to run for his life. So, and I even heard that some people were telling him to go that day. He refused until they persuaded him to go. And he ran. Then the DOS sold him to Nigeria government. They tortured him for 8 days. That's why I know that Onyendu will not die. He's like a cat with 9 lives. By the special grace of God, he will not die. So they renditioned him, they sold him. It is still this same DOS that does not want Onyendu to be released, because they cannot face Onyendu. That is the nitty-gritty of Onyendu's case right now. So when Onyendu came back, they started counting all the charges. They said, oh, he jumped bail, he jumped this, he jumped that. How can you say that Onyendu jumped bail when you give somebody bail and you want to go and kill him in his house? So they started dropping all those charges. I think it was 17 of them or 15 of them. They dropped it till they could not, they did not have anything against him. Then by the virtue of the way he was returned to Nigeria, which is illegal, it breached national and international law. The High Court judges who knew the law properly told the government, this man has to go. Pay him 500,000 for the torture that you people meted at him in Kenya before bringing him back, covering his face. Why did they cover his face? Because one of the accomplices, which is Barrister Joffo, was at the airport. They don't want Onyendu to see him. There was chain on his legs and his hands. Now, the court discharged and acquitted him. Malami refused. Malami said that the High Court did not mention acquittal. When 5 experienced judges in the High Court decided to release somebody on grounds of illegality or on grounds of law, then you are saying that they didn't mention acquittal. They kept our Onyendu. This man, Aloy Ejimako, mentioned precedent, and he cited, what's his name? Sunday Igboho, and the one that owns this newspaper, Sahara Reporter. What's his name again? Those are 2 precedents. Precedent in law is something like similar cases. You can take precedent from a case decided before your own, some years before, or very recent, which Sunday Igboho's own is the precedent for Onyendu's case, because Sunday Igboho was talking about freedom of Oduduwa people or Yoruba nation. in Sunday Igboho's house, similar thing that happened at Onyendu's house happened. But in Sunday Igboho's case, 2 soldiers were pied. But in Onyendu's house, no soldier was touched. So what did Onyendu do that is very different from Sunday Igboho's case? And when his mother died, he was allowed to come out and bury his mother. In fact, I even saw him with soldiers or policemen protecting him. And he came to this London 1st of March. I saw it at Koiki Media space, because sometimes when I see Koiki Media, I go there searching for what to talk about. So that one was a precedent. What's his name? This guy that owns Sahara Report is another president. Yeah. So Omoyere's case and Sunday Igboho's case are pure example of Onyendu's case. So they are precedent to Onyendu's case. You can cite to judge these 2 cases to say to judge, if you can release somebody who is in similar situation as my client, why can you not release this person? That's what he mentioned there. So he mentioned that bail application is not the right thing now, which is correct, because Onyendu no longer has any case. You talk about bail when somebody has a case and they say he should come back tomorrow or next week or next month, then you will ask for bail. But the High Court have said that Onyendu has no more case, that he should go. So bail application is very irrelevant in Onyendu's situation now. Secondly, when somebody is detained, commit any offense, you don't put them in underground more than, well, in the UK, it will be more than 30 hours. That's their own law. I don't know how many hours it is in Nigeria. So since they brought Onyendu, he has been kept underground.
Sorry, you said in UK, that is their own law. Nigeria don't have law now.
That's the thing I'm saying. So they should have taken Onyendu to court, from court to prison. At least during, well, if you are in the prison, you can be talking to people, you will have fresh air, even through the bar, the air will be coming in. But Onyendu is underground. It's like when you bury something underground, that thing will start developing mold and, and he's a human being. He only comes out any day he has hearing. And during the time of Ejiofor, we were not seeing Onyendu in court. So Onyendu is completely not having a fair trial at all. He is not. And this is why, before you bring back somebody you call a fugitive, somebody you want that is in another country, you have to go to court and apply to that court in that country where the person is. And the court will consider all these things: the fair trial, the inhuman and degrading treatment, which is all what Onyendu is getting. Onyendu is sick. They cannot allow him to go to hospital. That breached his Article 3 and Article 6 rights, human rights articles. Onyendu is sick. They are not allowing him to go to hospital. They are not giving him any treatment at all. Sorry, let me drink. My throat is drying up. My people, the way these people are dealing with Onyendu, it is no longer the legal practice. This is human practice and wrongful treatment. The illegality in Onyendu's case is so much, very glaring, and I really don't know what we can do to help Onyendu, because I'm sure that Chinasa Nworu, Chike Doziem, Ejiofor, and the governors, they are the ones detaining our leader. That's the way I will summarize it. But his lawyers are trying. They said that they are not politicians. Otherwise, they are open to anything that Onyendu instructs them. If Onyendu instructs them to go and apply for political settlement, they will do that, because they are not politicians, they are lawyers. You know, I was hearing him telling the person that they are lawyers, they are not politicians. They can't talk for political settlement, you know. So I don't know why Nigeria court does not want to follow the law, because there's a recent precedent, this Sunday Igboho's own. They should have just allowed Onyendu to go, because they allowed Igboho to go. Igboho is now in London, and I was hearing him at that Koiki place saying that in April he will go to Germany. So the man is free. Why is Onyendu being detained? My dear, it's a very, Onyendu is in a delicate situation. Very, very delicate. I don't know what else to say. You know, they just don't want to release Onyendu. But I don't know if you people saw this. Yerima Shetima, he said that he vowed that Onyendu must not be released. Why? Did you see it?
No. Can you
Did you?
send it to me? Is it a video or a write-up?
It's a write-up, but his picture was there. Let me send it to you. He
Is
said
it
that
from a newspaper?
no, from our Prime Minister's Twitter handle. Let me forward it to you.
Okay, forward the Twitter to me. Let me see.
It's so unfortunate.
Meanwhile, Vam, you have the mic.
Yeah, fellow Biafrans, we have been.
They no one make you talk.
We have been on this, and we can always agree that Nnamdi Kanu, who already predicted his situation, always told us that the zoo will always make mistake. Nigeria will always make mistake. And every day, they are compounding the mistake they make. If they make one mistake, the next day, instead of them to solve that their mistake, they make another mistake. Do they think in their widest dream that if anything happens to Nnamdi Kanu, that Nigeria they are trying to save, that they will be able to save it? You know, that's what I'm telling you. They will tell you they want to save Nigeria, make Nigeria one. I'm telling you, they are making Nigeria end very fast, faster than ever. I'm telling you. You know, and why I am happy is that we have a government and we have prime minister that have ensured that they did not have a swear day or, you know, their business as usual. They have always been on their toes like this, because from the beginning they were celebrating it. They thought they had a trophy. Hey, they were parading him, you know, shining. But today they can't brag anymore. Today, they are, in fact, they are being held where it hurts them. I'm telling you, just imagine, for almost 3 years now, their economy keep going down as a result of Nnamdi Kanu's kidnap. Every day, the economy is dilapidating. Every day. Not only is the economy dilapidating because of the, the woto were giving them, and they sit at home, and the civil disobedience, they are also using Nnamdi Kanu to dry the remaining thing in their purse. Somebody is asking, is this life? Jandom man. This is life, Jandom man. It's life. So you can see that I call your name. It's life. So every Biafran should be more confident than ever about our leader, Nnamdi Kanu. I'm telling you, if I have never had evil confidence before, that last court appearance that I saw our leader, he gave me more assurance that if, when it was tough, they had Nnamdi Kanu, and Nnamdi Kanu survived all their machinations, their persecution, their torture. He survived them all. And he can still vibrate like this. What are they doing now? They are no longer torturing him now like before now. Before, they torture him. Physical torture. When you saw Nnamdi Kanu, you will know that these people, they have given up their torture. They can no longer torture him anymore. The only thing they are doing now is they are doing delayed tactics, because in their mind, they believe that, he know well. Make it slowly, make it die slowly. So that when they see say don't they shake, they'll bring it out. Let me tell you, that man you see, he has 9 lives. You will beg him on your knees, because he is going to make sure that he defeats all of you, he bring you down. Before you can brag with a FIA Joffo, you can brag with Chinas and Wood, you can brag with all the GOS, Ozoke, and the rest of them. But today, the same onion do that you thought you will use those words to deceive, the same onion do has sacked them. Now you can no longer brag with them anymore. So that place, we have shut it down. We shut it down. You wanted to creep in and enter Aloy Ejimako. We delivered him from that possession. His eye come clear. Anything you bring, we have the antidote. We have the antidote. Why? Because we are Biafra government. Well, before you took Oyendu, what you had before was ESN, Vigilante. Now we have Army, Biafra Army. Moving on with Tomahawk missiles, RPG, and the rest of them. Powerful equipment that you can't even imagine before. You paid all the E-rats. Hey, they said they are using RPG. Yes, we are using RPG. Are they not coming with RPG to Biafra land? Yeah, we are using RPG. It is RPG against RPG. Everything you think you have to use against us, we have it ×2 now. If they told you before that if you heard Nnamdi Kanu while you are holding him, that Biafra can boast of the army you are seeing today, will you believe it? Make una they play. Make una they play. You all are going to learn the hard way, because this journey we are on, it is a journey of redemption for Biafra, and it is a journey of no return for Nigeria. A journey of redemption, Exodus for Biafra, and a journey of no return for the Zoological Republic, because you will never return from this journey. You will all perish in that evil forest. I am Pastor Van Van Van, and I hang my mic here.
Thank you so much. Well, Biafrans, when the bit is out, well, Biafrans, we heard everything Aloy said. But one thing we must understand is that we are Biafrans. We can never be compared with anybody. We are masterpiece. As you see us, we will not get duplicates. When they went to Sunday Igboho house, some soldiers were neutralized and they found weapons, they found arms, gun, they get them there. Not one. But today, Sunday Igboho is free. When they came to our leader's house, they no get cutlass, even stick, they no see. No soldier fall, no police fall. But our leaders still there in their hands. Just because he is a Biafran. But the only thing our law is said here, where I hold strong, is that he is sure and he have made it clear to the judge that they are not expecting them to give them justice because they have proven to them that there will be no justice already. We heard it from our lawyer. So the only justice you will get now is the justice you give to yourself. Whatever you are doing for Biafra to come, continue. Double effort now. Put another silencer, if possible, 10 here, 10 here. Double everything. If you are giving double, if you are speaking, share this program anywhere you are watching from, please. The link is there. Somebody asked for link. I give him the link. You know, agree coming again. The link is there. You are free to join us. You are free to come and comment. So I want us to know that Nnamdi Kanu has not given up. I want you to understand also that the political solution they told you Nnamdi Kanu have been asking for, from what our law is said now, Nnamdi Kanu has never even thought of political solution. You heard him say that even if it is political solution, it is Nnamdi Kanu that will say, okay, he want to consider it, but he has not mentioned anything of that nature to him, to them. So you should know who is fighting for Biafra and who is fighting for the freedom of Nnamdi Kanu. Well, without wasting too much time, this where is that thing? We remember this. All of us, we remember this. They are now recruiting people. They are now doing their recruitment. Despite our Prime Minister warning, despite me talking, saying, calling, everybody made it clear. We are not recruiting. Biafra Liberation Army is not recruiting. Our army is not recruiting. And our Prime Minister have made this clear. Severally, there is nothing like ESN anywhere again. So if you are getting recruited, if any of your family member, loved ones are getting recruited, they are getting recruited for grave. Grave. That is what the because none of them will ever return. Is this something that happened when we were shouting or the game we were recruiting people with the one that called himself Okechukwu in Germany? We were shouting here. Nobody listened to us until it happened. Those boys that we are taking that time, have you seen any of them return?
They are gone. They're gone.
So anybody that Shinas Aworu recruited, I want you to know that that person is going to go like those he recruited. We should know this. And let us get this very, 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 very clear.
Sorry, Mazingo, sorry. The announcement, sorry. The announcement from our PM, let me just, because I cut them out bit by bit. Let me see if I can share it from my WhatsApp. Let me see if I can share it from my WhatsApp. Google, how do I share? Okay, share screen. Mazuko, can you bring my screen? Okay. So my screen. Okay, where do I reduce it? So this announcement from our PM, I'm sure you people heard me in the morning and you read it from the PM. We want to read it again. I told you that we'll be repeating it in our media. Now, announcement. People of Ezinihite must stay away from the meeting called by IPOB Nigeria to recruit them into their new security outfit being founded by Fulani governors in the southeast. Fulani governors in the southeast, they are funding security people. And they told you people in Ezinihite and all the other parts of Biafran land that there will be a meeting. You are being warned. Stay away. Oh. They claim that Onyendu siblings are coming this Sunday on the 7th. One day, they claim that Onyendu siblings are coming this Sunday to Ezinihite to have meeting with them and recruit new people that will fight against Biafran Liberation Army. Can you believe that? They are not thinking of fighting the zoo. When Fulani are protecting their terrorists, they are saying they want them to join the armed forces, task force, but these ones are recruiting to fight their own army. They are recruiting them to fight Biafran Liberation Army. Now, as we get closer to our declaration, we call on every family to stay away from any meeting that is not called and announced by the Biafra de facto government in homeland, which must be announced by the Prime Minister and aired by the Biafra Republic government media, this particular media. If we have not come to tell you announcement, there will be recruitment of men of war in the so place. If you do not hear it from us, close your ear, close your eye. In the coming days, the Voice of Biafra satellite radio will start broadcasting 247. Thank God you are watching us from 247. And we're telling you 247. We will be broadcasting from our Biafra satellite radio and our satellite TV in some states. And it will gradually cover all the 40 states of Biafra by July and August. I hope you people are watching. Biafra, disregard anything you didn't hear from us to avoid early death or be used as a sacrifice by desperate IPOB Nigeria criminals. These people, they are desperate. And it is not by mistake that we have called them IPOB Nigeria, because they are desperate to please Nigeria. Anybody that will tell you they want to go against Biafra Army, are they working in your favor? No. So be very careful. Make sure this message gets to people of Ezinihite or any other place. So because you know now that we have announced Ezinite, they will move their location to another place. They will move it to another village. Any village they go to, avoid them. Oh, avoid them. Oh, Ezinite or any other place. Such meeting has been called, and let them know that nobody must attend such a meeting this coming Sunday, 7th of April, 2024 and beyond. Thank you very much. As you go, I'm gonna call hand on.
They will vam. Okay. We have in our midst Ebuka. Ebuka, I'm gonna blow the microphone. Ebuka, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Ebuka? Okay. We are not hearing you. All right. Let's see. Okay. This is what our sister Betty was talking about. You see, me, I'm not bothered by what these people are saying. No, I'm not bothered. What we should focus more is that Biafra comes, because Biafra coming will end every other thing. It's just like God telling you, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and every other thing shall be added unto you. So now we must concentrate on making sure that Biafra is declared and defended. This all, and all we need is your hands. We need every hand. Every hand, both little and long and short and big and small, fat and thin. Every hand is needed. You must join hands together, for we know, you know, the support. When you hear support yourself, I don't like that support again. That language support is somehow, is we have to join hands, join forces together for this Biafra to come. So this kind of statement to me, it doesn't even, I don't even look at them.
This one, fear not going to even let her make this kind of comment. This is a propaganda. Don't be surprised that it is people like that will delay. All this Fulani breed in Biafra, they are the one that write all this thing. This guy, Yerima cannot write this thing. I'm telling you, because he knows that they have lost. I can bet you that Yerima did not write this thing.
Because it is possible that people like Udele will just use.
Yes, now Yerima knows that they have lost now. He cannot write this thing now. So that's why when I see this kind of thing, I don't even, they will just, one idiot, maybe one Ofemano criminal that is that they keep giving money, recharge card. He will come and write and put Yerima picture there. Where did Yerima say it? Which forum? Which place? If you look now, which news did you get it from? Some of them are just their propaganda. And when they write it, they'll put their picture. But they will not be bold enough to write it because they know that they have lost. I'm telling you.
I am go ha. Or what if a front, if any nusuru. You gotta go. So God is on our side and we are not backing down. Ebuka, can you hear me now? Now that you're back. Can you hear me now? Ebuka don't even know what they talk. Vam, I think we'll go round up, because tomorrow is Saturday.
Yes. We have
Pastor Vam, my salutes.
Welcome.
Good evening, sir. I greet everybody in the forum.
There will.
I can hear you.
Go on.
I can hear you clearly.
Go on.
Asigi, go on.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey.
Hello?
Yes, he's hearing you.
No. This network, I have to go back.
It's best to go. Let us conclude that
Okay, now.
1 hour, 30 minutes is enough.
Well, we visually said everything, and that what I wanted us to, the two things, sorry, the two things we needed to talk about, we discussed them. So, Biafrans, tomorrow is our fundraising. Tomorrow is the fundraising, mega fundraising. But this fundraising, every day is fundraising. Every day people are donating money. Every day people are paying their taxes. At least if you cannot do, if you don't get $1 billion to give, you get $10 to give. You get $5 at least to pay for your tax a week. Let us all wake up. Me, I don't know how to beg again. I don't try beg Biafrans. Biafrans, please, we have to wake up. You see what is happening everywhere now? They have told you that what Fulanese are doing is justified because they feel threatened. So they are now or they have already invited all their brothers, all Fulani from all over the world. They have already converged in Niger State, and from there they are lodging out attack anywhere they feel now you be their problem pass. They say it's ethnic war. They left north coming to Biafra land to fight ethnic war. And he made it clear that they go to Biafra land, they go to Yoruba land, anywhere they feel threatened, they go there and fight war. In Middle Belt, everywhere. So sending people to IDP camp, burning down their communities is ethnic war. The same thing we have seen Nigerian military done to our homes, done to our communities, done to our markets, burning down our markets, shooting people is ethnic war, just like Gumi said. So you need to liberate yourself. No be at this time, no be prayer we go they do. No be prayer. We have to wake up. I will say thank you so much. We will see tomorrow for fundraising. Mother Betty.
Yes. Ụmụnne m na ụmụnna m, ka anyị were unu be anyị si unu ka emesianụ. Mana before m pụọ, m ga-echetelu ndị be anyị, ndị Ezinihite. I know that na ndị ọzọ ada n'onu be anyị nọ ebe a. I'm sorry for that. But ọ anyị nwa na-abụkarị their center, the focal tribe. Anya ndị Fulani dị ebe ndị be anyị nọ rinne. Unu ejekwana meeting a our Obatobie, the Prime Minister gwara unu. Unu makwana PM anyị na ọ na-afụ ụzọ karịa ndị amụma. Ọ na-anụ ife karịa nwamba. That is, ọ gwa unu ife, you must listen to it. Unu ejekwana for any meeting, let alone ka abịa recruit unu, ka unu wee je n'usebe ụmụnne unu ọgụ na-egumi ka gumi nọ na-akpagharị. Ịma na ndị gọvanọs anyị anọ na South East n'isi adrofa mma. Gumi nọ na a state or a tribe like anyị nwa, nwee gọvanọ nọ na steeti ebe Gumi nọ, onwere onye na-enye Gumi nsogbu. Gumi nata Shetima ego, ogo ngwa agha jee were aka ya bugharịa afa ọfịa niile dị na zoo. Gumi magbadode ọ na-akpagharị. And Gumi be terrorist deport from Saudi Arabia. But ndị Nigeria were emelu nwa boy. then ndị nke na-eche anyị nche bụ ndị a ga-recruit people ka e wee bịa fight Biafra. Ụmụnne m ugboro one ka agadi nwaanyị ga-ada ada ka a gụọ ife obu n'ụkpọ ọnụ. Oge abịagokwanụ mgbe anyị ga-ejikọta onwe anyị ọnụ were ofu obi nụọ ọgụ ka ụmụnne. Chukwu fụkwara na anyị bụ ndị Biafra n'anya, maka ọ bụrụ na ọ bụrụ na Chukwu fụrụ anyị n'anya oge ejidere onye ndu anyị, Biafra anyụgo ka ọkụ. Unu ụlọ na prime minista anyị ga-ejenwu Naijiria kịta, mana Chinasa Nworu na-eje Naijiria fenye convoy. He even announced na attack a convoy ya. But our prime minister cannot go because no onye dị serious na anụrụ na agha. Chukwu mụma wee wepụta oge ejidere onye ndu, and all the same people kpalụ nkata ka ejide onye ndu maka na failile ego 100 million ndị gọvanọ Soto. Unu ejekwana, do not go, because onye ụkpana onye ntị chiri ka ụkpana okpoko gburu nọ ntị chiri. Anyị nụ anything gwa unu from our prime minister, geenu ntị ụmụnne m, bikonu. Nke ọzọ dị ka ibie bụ na unu ma na ofe na-asụ ụsọ n'ego gburie. Echi niile ọ bụrụgodu $5 ka unu tụọ, maka na ọ bụrụ ndị minista asaa na our prime minister ga-atụta ego a ga-eji wee na-echedobe anyị. Unu ma na ndị ọzọ niile nọ na IDP camp sọsọ anyị nwa, and all because na ndị BLA, all these governors na-awụ anya fa nwecha villages, nwee families, all these superstars. Ali na Onyema o nwere ụmụnne nwee ụmụnna, all of them every weekend fa na-throw party, but fe nwere ike ịbịa tụọ ego. Ọ bụrụ na ndị Biafra Liberation Army nọ there na-echedobe anyị, fa niile aka agbasigo ọsọ. Onye ọbụla welili egwu ezi ọnụ. Unu ejekwana fasi unu no Biafra Army. Biafra is not a nation yet. It's about to be. That's why we have Biafra Liberation Army that will liberate us. Oge Biafra biago, I believe a nation. That's when we will have Biafran Army. Unu ga na-agbakọ ife ụfọdụ na-ewe enu ife a na-agwa unu asifa na asili unu, because any one of you jekwa there si na ya na-eje ka eweli eme outfit. Ndị Biafra Liberation Army fasikwala ike o. They will not spare you. Ejekwana, my people, ekwusikwa support ọnụ. Meanwhile, as no ndị ọhabuenyi na-lead na the voting. Jisi na ike ka unu lead kwuo all the other states. Please, my people, anyukoma million ọgbọ ofufu. Our prime minister na his ministers, they are wonderful people. Oge niile Biafra bịa unu ga-enwe ọlụ ga-adị, unu adị nwee peace, ịnaba no fear, nwee street lights, everything. All they go down. They work 24 hours. They don't sleep. They are working for you people. Why are you rushing it? Don't go for any meeting. Thank you, my people.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mama Bamba, close the program.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Without further ado, only one thing I want to remind you of, fellow Biafrans that are watching tonight. You see that statement that's attributed to Yerima. I want you to know the style that these people use. Sometimes they will come and write something. They will just write it. When they see that you are winning and that their time is almost up, that you find that you are drawing the curtain on them, they will go and look for one propaganda they will ask somebody to write to pull your morale down. Now ask yourself, have you ever seen where people that are holding you back, refusing to let you go, are threatening you, telling you that if you release Nnamdi Kanu, we will declare our own independence? That is their threat. They say if you release Kanu, we will declare our independence. That one will show you that these people are just monkeys. I mean, is that not what you want?
It's a questionable. Yes, it's a questionable write-up.
So you will see that alone will show you that that is not a serious write-up. So don't take it even with a pinch of salt. Don't take it with anything. Just know that the government is doing them shaggy. So whenever you see such a post, you know what you will tell them in their own language. Dambroba shaggy, Dambroba shaggy banza dara mad people. But you go can happen that lapo jare.
Biafrans. Good night, everybody.
Thank you.
Go and listen to Simon Ekpa, who is doing a very fantastic job. Very great job that Simon Ekpa is doing. Very, very, absolutely fantastic job that he's doing. You must listen to him and share his videos accordingly. Very, very important. He is bringing a new dimension to this very awareness that we're making, and you must listen to him. Very, very important.